10 years ago, the city of Franklin purchased Harlinsdale Farm, a world-class breeding facility that had been operated since the 1930s. And thanks to the Harlin family's determination to preserve this land for future generations, the park at Harlinsdale Farm was born. The city created a master plan for the property, and we've already seen the main barn stabilized, the Hayes house dried in, and infrastructure put into place. But the city could only do so much. In 2011, Friends of Franklin Parks was created as a nonprofit organization to help enhance our public parks with private dollars. Today, we are working together to utilize Harlinsdale Park to its fullest by adding a multi-purpose arena to this 200-acre gateway park. Designed to host events of all kinds, this arena will allow us to bring horses back to Harlinsdale once and for all, opening up a new world to the people of Franklin, a world that has been here all along. This is our legacy.
We rode up and down here a lot of times on young horses trying to develop what they should be. And we had a lot of company that would come in and watch us here. Rocky was who they asked for.
Rocky Jones was here when I worked at Harlinsdale as a teenager. Now, after 42 years, Rocky is still the manager and trainer at the new Harlinsdale Farm in College Grove, Tennessee. Back then, hundreds of horses were born and trained on these grounds. It was a legendary farm in the horse world.
They drew crowds, and there was a lot of folklore about Midnight Sun and who he was competing with, and that would be the talk. You stopped at a gas station somewhere, you'd hear talk about that.
I met Mr. Harlin and Rocky here at Harlinsdale just a few weeks ago, where they told me stories from the old days and tons of memories the farms brought back to them. Rocky hadn't visited the property since the horses moved away, and only one word could describe how he felt seeing the empty stalls.
Sad.
But now, we have the opportunity to change that. We want to bring horses back to this great farm. The history runs deep.
There are layers of history we have Indian burial grounds on this property. We had encampments from the Battle of Franklin. We had the walking horse industry, of course, that was here for many years. And there are many stories such as when the zoo flooded in Nashville and they brought all the animals to Harlinsdale. It wasn't until about 7 years ago there was still 2 peacocks that were from generation to generation. That took place in the 50s. That's what makes Harlinsdale unique. Plus, it's in Franklin. You're a mile from downtown, our historic district. You don't have that in most cities, that you have almost a centralized park system.
Our vision is to utilize the new arena and adjacent equestrian trails so that children and adults alike will have the chance to interact with horses, whether it's competition, lessons for beginners, or even a work-to-ride program to expose children to the horse.
Just being able to touch a horse lowers the stress hormones of children. And that's incredible. And if you think about the benefit of that in some of the environments that children grow up in, that's pretty incredible. But beyond the feel-good benefits of being around a horse, I think there are the opportunities to develop those character traits of confidence and self-discipline and focus.
Sometimes all it takes is a moment, a chance encounter that sparks an interest in a child that they never knew existed, that introduces them to experiences and lessons that could alter the course of their life.
I started riding when I was about Erin's age, and I rode all through middle school and high school. I think some kids are just born horse crazy, and she's one of them.
And my best friend.
I think they really teach you compassion, and they teach you responsibility, and they teach you a lot of self-assurance.
One of our board members, Joan Jones, is a California native who recently moved to Nashville. In high school, a stranger gave her the chance to become an equestrian, a chance she wouldn't have been able to afford on her own. Joan's story represents the impact we want to be talking about at Harlinsdale in the future.
The program that we're working with the school district in developing right now, bringing busloads of children in, showing them all kinds of different equestrian disciplines in one sitting, and hopefully sparking an interest and getting them involved as young people, to me, is giving back to the sport that has done so much for me, you know, as a child, and then, you know, full circle back again as an adult.
Not to mention, the arena will be set up for polo, a sport that could open doors for schools to form teams and even students to earn scholarships.
From the polo side, it's just going to introduce people in the area to polo. They've never really had a chance. The main message is just that this is going to be a public-friendly facility, and it's going to be open to everybody, and hopefully we're going to, you know, create a learning environment where people can get to understand the sport a little bit better. We're going to have kind of a polo academy, so people can come out and learn, and maybe some of the colleges like Vanderbilt, Belmont could get involved and start a team, and even an interscholastic team with some of the local schools. I'd love to see where we have maybe some public events on, say, Friday evening, where people can come out and sort of have a picnic atmosphere and watch a polo game, have some music, maybe some polo under the lights.
This is a game changer for Franklin, and now is our time to take part in something that will impact generations to come. Will you help us get there?